Welcome RegenAG Nation, coming to you live just in the middle of hop harvest, and thank you for joining us. This is part of our series where we look at different challenges, be it pests, disease, things like that in the field. We identify these things for you. We want to give you a good video and visual representation as well as some information about it. So this is part of this series. We're looking at some plants today in these hops that are experiencing some disease issues in the actual cones. So oftentimes early in the season, we'll be looking for downy mildew and things like powdery mildew, but later you see some of this stuff sort of manifest itself in the cones. Downy and powdery mildew oftentimes in the cone will show a complete discoloration or browning of the actual cone. You start to get into some of these other disease issues, and you will see this is a Fusarium cone blight. So as it looks and as it stands, there's just a slight discoloration in the tip of the cone. This can often be confused with gray mold. The difference being is that gray mold, you'll see active sporulation. You'll actually see that on the cone tip as well. This, we don't see that active sporulization. It looks a little bit more like Fusarium. I'm going to break this apart for you guys so you can see it actually gets into the strig and affects more than just the tip of that cone. So you can see what the inside looks like. You can see what it's doing to the lupulin. And then if you peel away some of these, you can actually see that it's affecting the strig as well. And so you'll see it more prevalent on certain plants than others, but as we look through this block, there's quite a bit of it in here. And so we want to make you aware of that. We want to show you some of those things, and then also just talk about how we deal with things like that. Oftentimes some of these things you can't control. You really can't time up fungicide applications or different things like that because you have unexpected rain events. But in this scenario, oftentimes it's about the timing of when you apply those preventatives. And so really scouting those fields and getting the right timing on those sprays. We're not going to recommend what that is to you because that's not what this is all about. But it is about getting in the field and timing these things up so you can avoid issues like this to the best of your ability. Sometimes Mother Nature throws us some major curveballs. Other times we need to be diligent about how we scout and apply. So thank you for joining us. Hope you learned a little bit about Fusarium cone tip blight, and you can scout and look for this in your fields and begin to understand what it is. That's part of the way we go about preventing things. So thank you for joining us, and remember, keep farming fun.